So just finding your nice, easy, comfortable seat here. You can be forward in the chair. You can be sitting back. You could also be sitting on the floor if that feels good for you, if you're joining this on YouTube. And then let's just go ahead and take a nice deep inhale here. Shrug the shoulders up towards the ears, squeeze them, kind of hold the breath, and then sigh the breath out. Ha, let it go. A couple more times like that. Inhale, shrug shoulders up, and let it go. And just feel that sense of release and relief that happens. So inhale, a couple more, and let it go. One more here, shrugging the shoulders up, and ha, letting it go. And then just finding this nice quiet space as we kind of find our yoga practice here. So just soaking up the quiet of these first few moments. So you can have your arms by your side. You can have hands resting on thighs. Close your eyes here. And take a nice deep inhale. So really feel that expansion fill up. Pause at the top. Sip in a little more air. Sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. And then do that again. Nice, smooth, steady inhale. Pause at the top. See if you can sip in a little more air. And then sigh the breath out. Ha. Let the day go. Let the Mondays go. And then just finding this nice, even breath here. And you might be using your Ujjayi breath, so contracting the sides of your throat, creating a soft rush of air in the back of your throat as you inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. You might be skipping that today, just inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Wherever you're at, you're trying to keep the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale really nice and even. We use this breath as a tool to help quiet and focus the mind. And that being said, it can take several minutes sometimes for the brain to settle. So it's okay if you're getting distracted by the sounds happening around you. It's okay if you're attaching to the thoughts coming in and out of your mind. But when you become aware that that's where your attention has gone, just come back to your breath. Observe if there's any places where you've begun to tense or hold on, almost without being aware that that's happened. See if you can release in those places. So a lot of times we start to clench fingers, toes, the jaw. Sometimes the shoulders start to sneak up around the ears. We can even start to grip in the inner thigh. Just let all of those places relax and release. Another moment or two here. Just enjoying the stillness. We don't get enough of it sometimes. There's always a lot of background noise happening. So soak this up. And take a nice deep inhale. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out. Ha. And just begin to blink your eyes open. So let's get into the shoulders a little bit. So arms can just be extended out. If you want to bend the elbows and just bring fingertips to shoulder heads. I'm going to start to just make some circles. And you can start out small. You can start out with bigger circles. So you're coming to the center, trying to squeeze the elbows in towards each other. These look really good. Just kind of warming up the shoulder girdle here. Good, let's start to switch directions. Nice work. Notice that opening across the heart and the chest. Hi, Amy Hillman. Good, and then just releasing your arms down, giving them a little break. And then hands can come back up to shoulders, or you can just extend arms out. And we're just gonna pretend that we're a little agitator in a washing machine, just kind of going side to side. And you don't necessarily need to connect this with the breath. You're welcome to. Just kind of finding a little movement. It can be really, really small too. And kind of just keeping your gaze nice and forward. So it's really just the upper body that is moving. So lower body is stable and steady too. Nice work. Good, and then just start to make your way back to center. You can release your arms by your side. And let's come into just a nice, easy, mellow twist, seated twist to start out. So peek down, just make sure that you have knees over heel alignment. You can always slide a blanket underneath your feet if you need to. All right, here we go. As we inhale, we're gonna stretch our arms out wide. Good, take a nice deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, start to twist to the right. And you don't have to go very deep, especially starting out. Imagine that you have two people holding onto your wrists, just gently tractioning you apart. Take a deep inhale there. And then as we exhale, you can release your right hand down. So you can grab a piece of chair behind you. You can take your hand to the small of your back, and then maybe left hand comes to the outside of your right thigh. If you're a little twistier, it also might just come to the inside of your left thigh. So that would probably be a good variation for you, Jim. If you know that deeper twisting kind of aggravates the back, go less far. And of course, as we come to our yoga practice, these look really good. We're always making little adjustments, little changes. So we practice a lot of the same poses, but every time we come to the mat, it feels a little different in our bodies. So we want to be mindful and attentive to that and make little adjustments. From wherever you're at, you're pressing your shoulder heads back so you're feeling that openness, that stretch across your heart and chest. And then gaze is just a place that feels comfortable. If you want to stretch out the neck a little more and it feels okay, maybe you begin to look out over your right shoulder, but that's not going to be the case for all of us. And then as you inhale, really try to find a lot of expansion. Send that inhale, send the breath to all of the places in your lungs. So it's this nice deep inhale, which is tricky in these twists. And then as you exhale, as you empty out and everything constricts in, it might feel like you're getting into the twist just a little bit more. So you might feel that lowermost left rib start to wrap to the right a bit more. Good, deep inhale. As you exhale, you come back to center. Good, so just reset anything that you might need to. And then as we inhale, we take our arms out wide again. So just imagine that somebody is gently stretching you apart here. Hold on to that feeling, root into your sit bones, deep inhale, and then exhale. Start to twist to the left, and just taking a couple breaths here. It's like you have giant wings here. Good, and then go ahead and grab something behind you with that left hand. You can press your right hand to the outside of that left thigh, maybe to the inside of that right thigh, or outside, I guess, rather. No, inside. It's having a Monday in terms of talking today. Shoulder heads are pressing back wherever you're at. You're feeling your sternum lift up towards the ceiling as you root down into your sit bones. And then just finding a place to gaze at that feels good. Maybe slowly moving towards looking out over that left shoulder if it feels okay to do so in your neck. Filling up on your inhale, feeling that expansion of the rib cage as much as possible. And then exhale, emptying out, twisting in, maybe a micromillimeter more. One more deep inhale here. Good, and then as we exhale, we come back to center. We're gonna release our arms by our side. Just starting to find a little flow, connecting movement with breath. So moving into our lateral side to side stretching. Just gonna start out moving with the breath, and then we'll come into the hold on each side. So find your sit bones, feel heavy there. You can just kind of visualize them rooting down, and then notice how that informs the upper body. So you feel nice and long through both sides of your waist. And here we go. So as you inhale, let's take that left arm up and over. Leaning to the right. Doesn't have to be super deep here. Starting out as you exhale, release down. Inhale, right arm up and over. Good, exhale, release. And then you just find this little rhythm, this flow. So moving at a pace that feels good to you today. And if you're feeling a little lethargic today, a little anxious, maybe you, or lethargic rather, speed the breath up. If you're feeling a little anxious, a little agitated, slow the breath down. So just using this breath to see, kind of modulate your energy. Good, couple more to each side, and then we'll come into the hold. Beautiful work. So the next time that left arm is reaching right and over, up and over, and you're reaching off to the right, just hang out there. Notice if your left sit bone has started to pop up, kind of just energetically root down. And then you're feeling all of this length through the left side, but see if you can find a little length on the right side, and maybe just a tiny little twist. So you're starting to wrap these right ribs up towards the ceiling, up towards that left arm. Maybe you're gazing up underneath that top arm if it feels okay to do so in the neck. Can always modify here. Good. As you exhale, release that side down. And then inhale, right arm comes up and over. Good. So feeling all of this nice lateral stretching on the right side, reaching down through that left arm, left fingertips. And then trying to find a little length, especially on the inhale of that left side, and then wrapping those left ribs. It might just be the tiniest movement, spinning them up towards that right arm, and then maybe gazing up underneath that top arm. Breath smooth and steady. So we lose the breath sometimes. We just keep reminding ourselves to come back. One more deep inhale. As we exhale, we release. And we're just going to roll the shoulders out a little bit here. So rolling back. And then rolling forward. And then we're just going to come into some classic seated cat-cow, after which we're going to stretch out the neck a little bit. So just doing some neck stretching before we move on. So finding your nice seat again, adjust as you need to. Hands can be resting on thighs here. They can be resting on knees. So wherever feels good. And then as we inhale, we're going to rock forward on our sit bones. You're going to feel the shoulder heads pressed back. So there's this nice deep arch in your lumbar, your lower back. So this is like our little seated cobra pose. And then as we exhale, we rock to the backs of our sit bones. Let the neck release down. It's like your chin is releasing towards your chest. So arching in the thoracic. Inhale here. And then exhale, rounding in. Maybe closing your eyes if you feel steady and stable doing that. Otherwise, just keeping your gaze soft and gentle. And just enjoying this little moving meditation, this vinyasa, enjoying this forward folding and back bending. So such a nice way to open up the spine. This is a good thing to do. You can do this pretty much anywhere. Take a little break if you've been at the computer too long. Maybe there have been too many episodes of the Queen's Gambit in a row, so you take a little cat-cow intermission. Good. So let's inhale. Come into this cow stretch. We're just going to hold here. So you're going to keep breathing. Make sure that you're anchoring into your sit bones. You can gently squeeze the elbows in. And then just feel that lift of your sternum up towards the ceiling. Feel the elbows kind of squeeze in towards the waist if that is accessible in your body. Feel this openness across the heart and chest, this lift of the sternum. It's a nice little back bend. And then as we exhale, we round in. So holding here, and it's tricky, but try to let the back of your neck release. So it's like that chin is dropping down towards the chest. And it's easy to feel this rounding in the upper spine. Maybe see if you can find a little more of that rounding in the lower spine. It might be more of a thought than anything. Good, and then we're gonna inhale, rock back up to our mountain pose. So just this comfortable seat. All right, and then we're just gonna sit tall like this, and we're gonna get into the next. So start to bring your chin towards your chest. And let's just move a few times. So inhale, comes back upright. Exhale, slowly lower chin to chest. Good, inhale up. Nice work, everyone. And then exhale. Release down. Just hold here for a few breaths. Notice if the ears if the shoulders start to scrunch up around the ears, soften them down. Notice if you start to overarch in your lumbar. Bring the belly button towards those back ribs a little more. Good, and then inhale, come back to center. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing, just moving off to the right. So starting out, you're nice and neutral. As you exhale, start to drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Oh, inhale back up. Exhale off to the right. Good, inhale to center. Exhaling to the right. And you're gonna hold here. It doesn't matter how deep you go into this. So we've all got different things going on our neck. You're gonna be feeling a pretty intense stretch on that left side. If it feels like you could use a little more, maybe you release your left hand down, kind of just energetically reach towards the earth there. Are you breathing? Make sure that the breath is still moving. So even though it doesn't seem like there's a lot happening here, this can be really intense. We can start to clench the face, the jaw. All right, let's nice and easy. Come back to center. And then the same thing to the left side. So nice deep inhale. Exhale. Doesn't have to be very deep at all. Start to bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. Good. Inhale back to center. Good. Exhale. Inhale to center. And then exhale. Coming into the hold, making sure shoulder blades are releasing down. Feeling those shoulder blades stack over your sit bones, breathing. So this certainly packs a punch. If it's enough for you, stay here like this. Otherwise, if you want a little more, just release. Right arm by your side. So it's kind of like a little counterweight to help you get a little more stretch. And then nice and easy. Come back to center. And let's just do a few rounds of our seated sun salutes today. So if you do have blocks at home and you like those, they can be really nice as we come into our forward fold and our half forward fold. You can also use a table or something out in front of you. And if you don't have them, that's no big deal. So coming to our mountain pose, sitting nice and tall here, feeling this openness, this lift across the heart and chest, but then also feeling this anchoring down into the feet, into the sit bones. So it's kind of like we're going in opposite directions. All right, we're gonna release our arms by our sides. So feel this stretch, this openness across your heart and chest. As you inhale, take your arms out nice and wide. Then maybe you even bring your gaze up. A few of us might even press palms together. Doesn't matter if that happens or not. As we exhale, you can take arms wide, swan dive in, or maybe you bring your hands to your thighs. Start to roll on down. And when you get here, again, find that idea of the back of the neck really lengthening. From here, we're going to either take our hands on our blocks, and you can change the height, or maybe you just take hands on shins or thighs. Chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Squeeze the elbows in. Feel this lift of the sternum. It's a little kind of like a seated cobra pose here. Nice, nice work. As you exhale, you release back down. And then inhale. Start to make your way up so you can roll up. You can reverse swan dive up if you feel steady and stable. And then as you exhale, hands come to heart center. And we're going to do a couple more of those. So inhaling, stretching up Utthita Hastasana into Tadasana. See how tall and long you can get. As you exhale, you fold in, and you don't need to fold in very deep, especially if that doesn't feel good in your body. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold, so gaze comes forward. Exhale back into our full Uttanasana. Inhale, pressing into feet, stretching arms out and up. And then as we exhale, hands come together at heart center. One more. Inhale, you reach up. Good. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, chest lengthens forward. Good. As you exhale, you fold. Inhale, press into your feet. Stretch arms out and up. And then as you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Just pause here, maybe close your eyes, check in. So about halfway through our yoga practice, notice how you're feeling different, what's shifting and changing for you. You might be feeling a little heat inside your body. You might be feeling a little more focused. So just observing here. And then you can gently blink your eyes open, just release your hands down. So we'd like to come into a little hip opening. So we're going to do our seated pigeon stretch, and we'll do a couple variations in that. So option number one, if you feel steady and secure and it's available in your body, you're going to take your right ankle and cross it above your left knee. So if that isn't working for you, you might just start to open this right leg off to the side. So the important piece is that you're feeling a little bit of external rotation. Good. So lots of good places to be. If you are in this seated pigeon pose, you're going to start to potentially feel this stretch in your outer right hip. Just being here like this might feel like plenty. If you're a little more flexible, maybe you want to take your right hand and gently press down. If the leg is open, you're going to just take that hand to the inside of the thigh and gently press back. And then you're trying to keep the upper body nice and long, nice and tall here. And you're trying to keep the breath smooth and steady. And then you can think about just sending your exhale to that right hip. These are intense stretches. They're uncomfortable to be in sometimes. So the thoughts start to kick up. Maybe it would be helpful for you even to count your breath a little bit here, just giving the brain a little something to chew on. Good. If you would like to, if you are, you can do this in either variation. Inhale, stretch your arms up. You're welcome to do that. Just imagine that somebody is gently pulling your wrists up. So you're getting lots of length through the sides of your waist. Maybe pull your belly button in and up a little more. And then from here, let's bring our hands to heart center. And then potentially start to hinge forward at your waist. So just folding in a little bit. It need not be very deep. As you start to forward fold, you're going to find that it intensifies the hip stretch. A couple of us who really love this might be able to release fingertips to the floor, or hands on blocks can be really nice. But otherwise, you're just kind of hanging out here with hands together at your heart. And Jim, definitely go less far in this forward fold. It's even okay just to be upright. We're really going for the hip stretch. So nice work, everyone. And you can certainly be doing this with the other leg variation as well. And it does indeed intensify the stretch. All right, so let's inhale, roll on up here. And then let's find a little bit of a twist here. So hands come to heart center. Take a nice deep inhale, and you don't have to go very far with this at all. As you exhale, start to twist to the right. So most of us are going to stay upright here. Few of us with a little more flexibility might start to hinge forward. And you can just rest that right elbow maybe to the outside of the left foot, or it could be on the ankle or the knee. You might just be kind of close there. Nice work. And you can also be doing that. Couple more breaths. Beautiful work. Good. So if you hinged forward as you inhale, upright yourself, and then we all come back to center. Good. Take a nice deep inhale. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out. Ha. And then just release this right side to wherever you're at. And then we set up for this hip opening on our left side. So maybe you are simply opening the hip, pressing the hand into your thigh. This side also might look different. So that's always okay. Always honor that. Maybe you can cross the left ankle above your right knee, perhaps even gently pressing down into that thigh. And then check in with this side here. How is it different? Is it different? Particularly in the hip stretches, there can be pretty big discrepancy sometimes side to side, not always. But if that's the case for you, just know that that's not uncommon. And then again, just kind of notice the penchant of the mind to wander here. This isn't necessarily an easy pose to be in. So the thoughts, the chatter start to kick up. Come back to your breath. Maybe do less work if this is really intense. So back out a little bit. I always think that that's a hard direction to go. I think that we're so trained to like push ourselves and go for it. And sometimes the smartest thing we can do is to do less. Okay, so you're welcome to just stay here like this. If you would like to inhale, stretch your arms up overhead. Again, just hanging out here for a few breaths, feeling the length through the sides of your waist. Little bit of core work here to stay like this. Good. And then hands come to heart center. You can just be here. Maybe it feels good to hinge forward, fold in. Nice, Amy. These look really nice, everybody. Few of us might be able to get in a little deeper. So this is where blocks can be really nice. You can just fold in, rest hands on blocks. Fingertips might be on the floor. And again, completely good to be upright like this. We're trying to get into the hips, so the forward fold intensifies it. That's not necessary, particularly if it feels precarious to forward fold in this position. Just skip it. All right. So let's inhale, roll on up here. And then we're going to take that twist to the right. So hands at heart center. Nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, just twisting the upper body to the right any amount. And for most of us, it's not going to be terribly deep. That's okay. If you feel like you have a little space to move in this pose, maybe you hinge forward. Maybe you can rest that elbow on the ankle, get it to the outside of the foot. So just find a little leverage point by which you might twist in a little deeper. Are you breathing? Really try to fill up on the inhale. It's tricky in these twists. Do the best that you can. Nice work, everyone. Good. Start to make your way out of the twist and then just upright yourself here. And let's release that left leg. So just taking a few breaths here, close your eyes, check in, get quiet, let all of that go. And then gently blinking eyes open. So let's just transition. So since we've opened the hips, let's move towards our warrior two. We'll play with our reverse warrior and then our extended side angle pose. And we'll kind of thread all of those together just for a little flow, but that's the direction that we're headed. So as you know, always lots of options here. Now come to the right side first. So this time we're gonna open up that right thigh. And it doesn't have to be super deep, but just finding any hip opening. And then just peek. We want to land with our knee, right knee over that right ankle. Good, so torso is facing forward even though you're getting this hip opening. And then in regards to this left leg, the knee might be bent. You could extend that left leg to straight. You might even take that leg off to the left and then roll to the inner edge of the foot if that's accessible in your body. Again, torso is still facing forward. It's going to want to twist a little bit. You're also welcome to do this as a standing pose if that works for you. So lots of options here. Okay, so we're going to inhale, reach our arms up. The shoulders love to creep up around the ears here. Soften them down. Feel the shoulder blades squeeze in towards each other on the center of your back. Keep torso facing forward. Just bring your gaze out over your right fingertips. And then let's just get into the arms a little bit here as you inhale. Reach them up overhead. Good. Exhale, release down. Inhale up with the arms. Good. As you exhale, release in. One more. Inhale. Arms reach up overhead. And then as you exhale, find your Virabhadrasana 2. So gaze soft and gentle out over those right fingertips. Spin your right palm or the eye of the elbow to face up towards the ceiling. And we're gonna keep the upper body, the lower body just as it is, but we're gonna start to find a little of that side to side lateral stretch that we did at the beginning of class. So you can reach your left hand down that back leg. It can rest on the thigh. Maybe you grab a piece of chair, maybe fingertips release down. Lots of good options. Perhaps you start to look up underneath that top arm. So we're in our reverse warrior here. These look lovely. Good. We're going to inhale, come back to our Virabhadrasana 2. Take a full exhale. Another inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to think triangle pose in our upper body. So we hinge at this right hip crease. We reach, reach, reach. And then we're going to bring our either hand, maybe you can bring your forearm to that right thigh, and then extend that left arm up. So shoulders are kind of stacking on top of each other here. So you don't need to take that left arm up and overhead just yet. Inhale, lengthen through this right side of your waist. As you exhale, wrap your right ribs up. These look fantastic. And then if you would like to reach that top arm up and overhead so the palm starts to face forward and you extend so you get this long line of energy through that left side of your body. Beautiful work, everyone. Still feel shoulder blades releasing down. Good. As we inhale, we come on up. As we exhale, we release hands down. And let's just take a couple of breaths here. So just a little break. We're going to flow that together. Just moving with the breath. We'll do 2 complete rounds. All right. So taking a nice deep inhale here. Full complete exhale. Exhale down into the feet, down into the sit bones. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, gaze out over those right fingertips. Inhale, find your reverse warrior. So right arm comes up and over, nice. As we exhale, we bring elbow to right thigh. Left arm comes up and over. Good work, everyone. So you know what we're doing here. Inhale back. to your Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, root down, gaze out over your right fingertips. Inhale, release left arm down, right arm comes up and over, reversing your warrior. And then as we exhale, we transition into that extended side angle pose. So elbow to right thigh, maybe left arm up and over. Great work. Inhale, back into your Virabhadrasana 2. As you exhale, release your arms by your side. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. And then we're going to transition into our right side. So just readjusting the legs, bringing them in. This side might feel different, so it might look different than the other side. That's absolutely fine. So opening that left hip any amount. It doesn't have to be super deep. Just go to the place where you feel good, like you're getting a little bit of a stretch. And then do just check to see that this left knee is landing over your ankle. So in particular, we don't want the knee over the ankle. It just puts a lot of pressure on that ankle joint. Okay. And then maybe your right knee is bent. Perhaps that feels more stable in your body. Maybe you play with just extending that leg to straight. You might be able to open that leg up, roll to the inner edge. So they're all good variations. I'm going to do it like this time on this side. So torso is facing forward. So it kind of wants to come along for the ride. Don't let it. All right, here we go. Inhale, arms reach up. And then just start to bring your gaze out over your left fingertips. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Notice if the shoulders are creeping up around the ears, soften them down, feel the shoulder blades squeeze in towards each other, and then just moving our arms here as we inhale, they stretch up and overhead. Great. As you exhale, release down. Good. Inhale up. Exhale, find your Virabhadrasana 2. One more. Inhale up. And I should mention, with these Virabhadrasana 2s, it's hard to hold the arms like this, so you take breaks whenever you need to. Exhale, you're releasing down. Couple breaths here like this. Gaze soft and gentle out over your fingertips. Breath smooth and steady. Are you gripping, holding anywhere that you don't need to? Soften the face and jaw. And we're going to reverse our warrior here. So spin the eye of the left elbow, the palm up towards the ceiling. Good. And then we start to reach down with our right hand. So you could hold on to something. You could rest that hand on that right thigh. Left arm reaches up and over. So we're visiting that lateral stretch again that we did earlier. From here, you're trying to wrap your right ribs up towards the ceiling. You might be looking up underneath that top arm. A nice little variation here sometimes is to bend the elbow and just bring your hand to your neck, especially if you're feeling an intense stretch in your neck. These look so lovely. Good. As we inhale, we come back up to our Virabhadrasana 2. Take an exhale, gaze out over your fingertips. Another deep inhale. And then as you exhale, we're going to start to hinge at this left hip crease. So you reach, you're thinking triangle pose in your upper body. And then you can bring your elbow, your hand to your thigh. And then just keeping it nice and basic starting out. So shoulder blades stack on top of each other. Great work. That looks lovely, Martha. You're trying to spin the left ribs up. You're trying to find space through the left side of the waist. And then take that top arm up and over if you would like. So find that long line of energy through that right side. Keep spinning ribs up. Maybe you're gazing up underneath that top arm. Good. Inhale. Come on up. Whew. Exhale. Give the arms a little break here. Just take a few breaths. Maybe close your eyes. Let that go. So we're going to do all of those poses now. We're just going to flow them together with the breath, which feels kind of nice. So there's something nice about holding them, feeling all of the things going on. And then sometimes there's something nice about moving with the breath a little bit. It's good to do a little of both. All right, so here we go. As we inhale, arms stretch up. Exhale, gaze out over your left fingertips. Inhale, nice and fluid. Use that entire inhale to find your reverse warrior. So left arm reaches up and over. And then as we exhale, we transition into our Parsvakonasana side angle pose. Such good work. Inhale up, Virabhadrasana 2 here. Exhale, gaze out over your left fingertips. Inhale, reverse your warrior. So left arm comes up and over, nice Tammy. And then as we exhale, we find this side angle pose. Great work. Inhale back in to Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, release. And then just come back to your mountain pose here. So make your way out of that. We're going to do a little pranayama breath work before we come into our Shavasana. So today I would like to play with, in the past couple weeks, we've done our Viloma 1. So that is where we inhale in 2 or 3 parts with a little pause between the breath. And then exhale the breath out. We've done our Viloma 2, where we're inhaling and then doing the 3-part breath on the exhale. So let's combine a little bit of both today. So what I'm going to have you do is we're going to inhale halfway up, pause. We're going to inhale the rest of the way up, pause the breath. And then we're going to exhale halfway out, pause. Then we're going to exhale all of the way out, pause the breath. So pretty even. We're just going to see how that feels. We're going to pay attention and just kind of notice the effect that that has. So if your eyes aren't already closed, go ahead and close them here. And just, you can be doing this with Ujjayi breath if that feels okay. You are also just welcome to simply inhale and exhale through your nose. So just take a couple rounds of nice, easy breath. So the inhale, the exhale feel really even. Taking a nice deep inhale. Full complete exhale, empty out. Pause at the bottom. And then inhale halfway up, pause the breath. Inhale all the way up underneath your collarbones. Pause. Exhale halfway out. Pause the breath. Inhale all the way out. Pause. And then just take a couple rounds of normal breath. So a little recovery breath there. Nice, smooth, deep inhale. Full, complete exhale. Empty out, pause at the bottom. Inhale halfway up. Pause. Inhale all the way up. Feel that lift of your sternum up towards the ceiling. Pause. Turn the breath around. Exhale halfway. Pause. Exhale all the way. Pause at the bottom. And then just a couple rounds of normal, even breath. And as you feel ready, I'm going to invite you to take a couple more rounds. So if you want to combine both rounds, you're welcome to do that. If you feel like you need a couple of breaths in between each round, that also is really good. So just kind of listen to what you need. Find the pace that feels good to you. So as you're ready, just moving in that direction. Notice on your retentions if you start to clench and hold. Try to stay soft and relaxed in your body as much as possible. And if this isn't working, of course, you can just simply breathe. And there's no rush when you've completed your second round. You're just moving towards your Shavasana. So whatever that looks like for you, you're welcome to come into classic Shavasana on the floor if that's accessible. If you have a table or a desk in front of you or a chair, it might feel nice to come into kind of a supported child's pose. Let's just play around, see where you need to be. And start to soak up these final quiet moments here. So letting your breath find its own natural rhythm, letting your body feel really gentle and relaxed and easy. Okay, take a deeper inhale. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. Bring some gentle movement back to your body, wiggle, stretch, and start to bring your awareness back to your body. Good. Place your palms in a pile on top of your heart. Send yourself love and gratitude for showing up, for making the effort. It's not always easy to do, but it does make a difference. Good. Promise yourself that you're going to carry a little of this feeling with you into the rest of the week ahead. Beautiful, beautiful work today, yogis. Thank you.